So my name is Chris Baker-Bryan. I'm the co-founder and chief technology officer of BBOXX. BBOXX designs, manufactures, distributes and finances off-grid solar systems to the developing world, primarily in East Africa at the moment. BBOXX started 5 years ago as a spin-out of a charitable organisation that we founded about 8 years ago at Imperial College based in London. As students we started a charity which and tried to give electrification solutions to the developing world. In 2010 we started BBOXX as a business because we were always constantly raising money as a charity and not doing the things that we wanted to do, which was developing new products and services for the needs of the people that we were trying to tackle. So I think BBOXX now has been running for 5 years, or nearly 5 years, and we've grown very rapidly in the last 5 years. We've gone from a team of 4 initial people up to now 140 people around the world, based on 3 continents. And we've impacted over 205,000 people, providing electricity over the last 5 years. We received some initial, what they call friends and family money to get the product, get the business off the ground. It was as little as £45,000 in our pocket to start the business, so very, very small investments. And we added to that over the following 2 years with some grant money, some additional employees. We're investing into our business at the early stage, so we got some of our initial employees to put money into the business, put some of our own money in, and really generated initial revenue very quickly within the first couple of years off the initial products that we developed. We went through our first serious funding round about 18 months ago, 12 to 18 months ago, back in 2013, and we've gone through an additional round of both debt and equity funding in the last 6 months. Most of the recent investment has come from a number of impact investors and family offices who have both they want a commercial return, obviously, on their investments, but they're also interested in providing that triple bottom line, people profit planet, as the buzzword goes. So overseas, in total, through the products that we've put in on the ground, we've saved over 20,000 tonnes of CO2 compared to the use of existing kerosene or candles or existing traditional carbon-based sources of energy that people were using previously. I think one of the key things for our customers is that we're saving month on month people money. Ultimately, they come to BBOXX because we can save them over what they used to spend on kerosene, batteries and candles. They would typically be spending often above $16 a month on energy-related expenses in East Africa, and we were able to reduce that and provide a better quality of energy through the use of our products. So I think one of the biggest things that BBOXX has done over the last particularly 2 years is really try to understand the customer, and what they really need, because it's a very different market to the Western world. And I think one of the ways we've done that is through using some of the technologies that we've developed. So having the ability to remotely monitor how the customer is using the product in fairly high resolution. We can see how they're using, when they're turning the lights on, when they're watching TV, when they're listening to the radio, understanding that customer base, trying to feed that back into the development of new products and services. So we're really understanding what the customer wants. So I think that's true for any business in the world, not just in East Africa. If you don't understand your customer, you're not going to get very far. So we are particularly a complex business, and we have, as I mentioned previously, we have 7 companies on 3 continents now. And as a very small startup, just I think when they invested, they were 3.5, 4 years old. That's quite challenging in terms of the reporting requirements that have to go with that. So I think advice to investors is often the reporting standards that you might be expecting of a small startup are maybe not there. So bear with us on that one. Make sure that you give a little bit of leeway in terms of the reporting. Again, provided that you understand the team and the product and the basics are there, the reporting might not always be there. Some of these entrepreneurs, I think we'll include ourselves in that, probably haven't been great at doing some of the reporting or the regulatory stuff, and I think bringing somebody on board who can help with that in the first few months, cleaning up that information, making sure they understand what's really happened, is particularly important, because often entrepreneurs want to focus on the product and the service and the customer, which is great. And I think just bringing in somebody that can balance that with some business experience is particularly useful. So this is the BB17. This is one of the key products that we've been working on over the last 18 months. We've actually developed this from initial range. This is an initial product we developed 5 years ago now. And in the last 2 years, we've added this remote monitoring and control functionality. So this little area you'll see poking out the back allows us to monitor how the product's being used by the customer. So we're constantly able to see how they're discharging the product. And ultimately, if a customer doesn't pay us on a monthly basis, we can turn the product off. So the lights on the front will turn off and disable themselves if a customer doesn't pay. Quite a simple product really. They plug in lights and radios down here. You can charge your phones off the USB slot. Inside it's very simple. You have a battery, a large battery inside with some electronics which help us to control the power distribution to the customer and charge the battery, and then also monitor and control the system remotely.